In this video, we'll be philosophizing on meaning one may cultivate within momentary experiential encounters within the intra-categorical and or inter-categorical effectivenesses and or efficiencies. As a must be good enough necessary conditions, one optimizes the more meaningful will creates value in relation to the intrinsic properties and or intrinsic processes one infers in relation to existing priors one may meaningfully cultivate from the intra-categorical and or inter-categorical effectivenesses and or efficiencies appropriate to the domain-specific direct perception one is perceiving by will, meaningfully creating the meanings most to the certain underlying psychological need satisfactions appropriate to meaningfully cultivate meaningfulness within the momentary experiential encounter. One wills existence of meaning, existing meanings exist, allowing for the elaborations within the subsequent momentary encounters to more probabilistically be cultivated uniquely as it concerns the distinctions one may create pertaining and or concerning to intra-categorical and or inter-categorical effectivenesses and or efficiencies, distinctions meaningful to appropriately infer BADAX cause effect dinamico-associations in cultivation of meaningfulness within one's experiential encounters, improving the internal and or external conditions. Existential values are derived in relation to creative problem solving, in relation to the direction of desired meaningful effect one is optimizing, proactively engaging the experiential encounters of meaningfulness in relation only to the existing meanings within one's direct perception, not the non-existing meanings, as to lie to the self and or engage in fibs that are the falsehoods of one's being, not to more meaningfully, say, engage in an arbitrary, temporary, intra-categorical and or inter-categorical creation of arbitrary value into the cultivations of meaningful values, or the existential value that is a meaningful value and it's not necessarily otherwise, as the existential value is to will meaning into existence, not to necessarily have that meaning existing within a value that is somehow distinct from the self. Allowing for the cultivation of inter-categorical and or intra-categorical effectivenesses and efficiencies that is not the same, nor should it be considered the same as intrinsic value, as intrinsic value is inferred from intrinsic processes and or intrinsic properties distinct from the existential value one must will to be able to create meaningfully, as one creates the as a must be good enough and necessary conditions. Existential values exist in relation to the prior existing self-conducted cultivations of meaningfulness within one's direct experience and momentary encounters. That's all I want to say for this video. Hope you have an awesome one. Keep this up.